everyone, my name is Eva.
And I'm Y20 and we are the co-chair of Indonesian Youth Diplomacy.
On this occasion, we will be sharing with you about how IYD was formed, and not only that, we will be sharing you as well about Y20 Summit, which is our main event. We engage with world governments who are part of the G20 countries and also invited countries for that year. We will be sharing you tips and tricks so you can make sure that you will give your best when you apply to our events.
So it all started in 2010 where we first sent our very first delegation to Vancouver, Canada, where it has the G20 Youth Summit. And 3 years after, when the G20 Youth Summit transformed itself more formally into the G20 body as its engagement group, G20 Youth Summit becomes the Y20 Summit, and that's also when we decided to transform ourselves into Indonesian Youth Diplomacy, not only so that we suit the transformation of the Y20 Summit, but also to further familiarize our youth to other global issues that extends beyond just G20 agenda. So we also cover a lot of events that discusses sustainable development goals, human rights, international and domestic politics, and there are a lot of events that Seva would also elaborate.
As an organization, Indonesian Youth Diplomacy holds various events for Indonesian youths across the country. These events are as follows. First, we have Meet the Diplomats. It is where we meet the older generation with the younger generation, specifically Indonesian senior diplomats and also diplomats from other countries who happen to be stationed in the country to discuss various issues with the Indonesian younger generation. And the second event that we do is called Youth Talk. It's where we do talk shows and we engage very prominent speakers in the field to discuss about various issues. For example, the last Youth Talk we had was about politics of identity, and we met these experts with Indonesian youth to discuss further about these issues. And the third event that we do, well, it's not exactly an event, but it's like a program. It's called IYD, where Indonesian Youth Diplomacy members, specifically Indonesians who have represented the country abroad, to share a bit about what they do in the workplace and outside of the workplace, just in case what they're passionate about could be, beneficial, informative for other people out there who would like to know more. And we also have IYD Goes to Campus, where we cooperate with a university and become partners in making an event or becoming speakers when they have talk shows or seminars themselves. And we also, of course, have the Y20 Summit itself, where we pick a few delegates to become the Indonesian Delegation to annually represent the country and the Y20 Summit, which is a part of the G20 Summit Engagement Group.
So speaking of the Y20 Summit, this is one of our core activities where we select the best of the best youth to represent the country to the Y20 Summit, which is, as Zeb has mentioned, the official engagement group to the G20 Leader Summit. So this is a very important and bona fide meetings to attend. The process of application and the process of recruitment covers only 3 stages actually. It's a lot simpler than most of you might think. So in the first stage, we would have a call for application where delegates or interested delegates would send at least 3 documents, which are their CV, application letter or motivation letter, and a technical essay that will also cover topics that will be discussed by the hosting country that year. And we're going to read all these essays and try and compare them to each other against the matrices that we have, and we're going to explain about those matrices as well in this video. And then afterwards, we're going to have a round of interview to select the people who essentially understand the issue, and it can be anyone with a very diverse background, because previously we have delegates who are from international relations and law and politics, but there are also delegates who are majoring in engineering or are startup founders or young professionals, so we don't have those strict limitations of only those who are familiar already with the model UN and stuff like that. So we encourage everyone with whatever expertise and technical background that they have to try and apply, because all of these issues are very complex and they need a very comprehensive understanding from one sector to the other. So we are open to anyone who wishes to apply anywhere in Indonesia, as well as those who are residing overseas.
Just so everybody knows, the whole selection process is legitimized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so we work closely with them from the beginning until the end, where we get the delegates themselves. they know about the process. So
And the Sherpas.
yeah, the Sherpa as well. And even within the grading system, every person who applies will be graded by layers of graders. So yes, these graders are alumni of the Y20 Summit themselves, but not only that, we really try to maintain professionalism, transparency, and seriousness of the calculations within the grading systems. For example, every essay that comes in will be graded by more than 3 graders, and then in the interview process, if you manage to go into the interview phase, you will be interviewed by 1 or 2 people, and also there will be observers in the background to give their opinions and assessments to complement the main graders themselves.
And another way to maintain the quality is to also avoid conflict of interest. So those who have known the applicants would not be allowed to grade. So that's also a great way to ensure that there are no way. That's also to ensure that we are objective enough in our application and grading mechanism.
Yeah, and we really want to give the best opportunity to those who deserve it. And don't worry if you don't get to represent the country this year, you can always try other years. And maybe Y20 is your way, but it can also not be your way. So, but there's no hurt in trying.
Right. And there's also the IYD community where you can also be involved in our events in Indonesia, and we don't know about the involvement in the future. Maybe the IYD community can also be more active in trying to spread the spirit of familiarizing the global issues to our youth in Indonesia. So, into the first step of how to apply to be a delegate to the Y20 Summit, essentially you need 3 types of document, as I've mentioned. So you need to send in your CV, your motivation letter, and you need to write a technical essay on a topic that we have selected before. But the things that you need to be mindful about these documents, because this is your first step into getting assessed further into the selection process, and writing this would take a lot of time. So even though this is still November and the application usually opens in either January or February, you need to prepare at least for
Don't
now.
rush.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at these documents one by one. In your CV, we are going to give a template, so make sure that you fill in each section of the templates that we've already provided. So in there you need to fill in your organizational experience, your working background, educational background, honors, awards, achievement that you have, your skills and interests, your language test ability, like a sport test that you have already. So make sure that you chose like 2 or 3 best activities that you have and put them in each of the section. Because if you only fill in one of those with, let's say, like 5 to 10 activities, but leave the rest blank, it would reflect you less as a well-rounded person that we're looking for to represent the country. In a motivation letter, essentially, we need you to explain why you are the right person to represent the country. So explain what you like, who you are, what motivates you behind your application, and then elaborate why you're unique. As we've mentioned before, we're looking for someone who can fill in different backgrounds so that we can represent a delegation that understands a wide array of issues and a wide array of complexity of the issues as well. We are also looking for someone who are not only using this as a platform to have another achievement, but also someone who have this genuine wish to use the IYD platform to contribute back and to give back to the organization as well as to the youth at large that we represent. And of course, someone who have proficient language ability so that they can express themselves clearly and succinctly in the forum.
Yeah.
And that's the first 2 parts of the documents you need to collect, that we need to collect. On the technical essay, Safa would perhaps elaborate on that.
Okay. Now from my end, I will be sharing with you about the technicalities of the essay. So there are a few points that you really need to keep in mind before you write your essay. The first one is we would like to see a really good quality of argument and analysis of your essay. So we think that it's really good for you to actually write out what you want to deliver. Don't just go off by heart and just write whatever you want. It has to be structured, and you really have to deliver the message that you want to prove. So please make sure of that. And the second is originality. So we really uphold anti-plagiarism. So make sure that the resources that you use for your essay is not plagiarizing other sources. So for example, you need to use paraphrasing, incitation, and also footnotes and quotations. All these methods, you can find more information in various sources around the internet, because there are many styles, like a.k.a. or Harvard citation or whatnot. But what we really want to make sure is that you're not copying word by word other people's work. We really want to see how you think through with your ideas and how you put fresh ideas to the table. That also has to make sense. And then another point that we really need to make sure is the structure and the flow of your writing. So everybody knows that when you write a text, you need to make sure that there's an introduction, the argument and analysis, the body of your essay, and then a conclusion. It has to flow from start to finish, and you really need to make sure of that. About language ability, of course we do look for writing with good quality of English capabilities. But as we know, for many Indonesians, English is not our first language, so don't be too pressured about delivering really perfect quality of English writing, because even for us, we already have a master's degree, but we still have a lot to work on with our English writing. It's totally fine as long as you have ideas that make sense, that are really interesting, and that could really enlighten our minds as the graders. We can get away with it, it's fine. But of course, it does not mean that you give us really sloppy writing. We can tell your effort.
Well, actually, for other trips, we have prepared quite a comprehensive text on our website.
Oh yeah, that's true.
IndonesianYouthDiplomacy.org. Make sure that you check on it as well, because we've written quite a bit of messages to help delegates to apply and to meet our standards. Because it's very competitive still, but we still encourage you to apply. And perhaps on our social media as well, because the updates will always be there. In Facebook, Indonesian Youth Diplomacy, as well as on Twitter, IYD Diplomacy. So that's basically all that covers motivation letter, technical essay, and the CV part of the application. Of course, we have another stages afterwards, but for now I think it's enough to actually start your application. Don't forget, we also have quite a lengthy tips written on our website, which is IndonesianYouthDiplomacy.org. Make sure to check on the frequently asked questions part of the website. And of course, don't forget to follow updates from our social media. It's on Twitter, IYD Diplomacy, and Indonesian Youth Diplomacy on Facebook.
So now that we have given you tips and tricks on how to apply for our next year's delegation, we hope that you will really take into account what we have delivered. Who knows that IYD is the way for you to represent the country. If you have a youth organization yourself, or you're involved in youth development and issues that care about youth, you can feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to find ways to cooperate and partner.
Right.
Okay, guys.
So thank you for watching, and we're looking forward to receiving your application.
Bye!
Bye. Thank you very much for given us the
capek lama-lama. Berarti kayak out of breath, right? Okay. Right. Zen.
Thank you very much for given us this opportunity.
Wait.
Let's say 3 to 5. It happened.
You know why? It's because I'm thinking through my mind. I think I might speak. Yeah, wait. Jangan ketawa. I'm gonna put it in. You were really good. Okay.
I'm in a serious face. Okay.